If I only know three things in life, one is that this new Kevin Hart movie does not have a Cat Williams cameo. Two, in no version of Earth did that dude read 3,000 nonfiction books a year from 8 years old. And three, that scientists have said that people who leave their Christmas decorations up past mid-January have much higher IQs. Alright, welcome to Taste Take. If you're new here, today we're doing a spoiler-free review of the new Kevin Hart movie, Lift. If that's something you're into, hit that subscribe button for your boy. For my regular Taste Takers, let's see if Kevin Hart's still shining or if someone else stole the show. Get it? I said stole the show, like stole because there's like a heist. Never mind. Quick background here. Lift is a new Netflix movie that comes to us from Kevin's Heartbeat Productions. It was announced back in 2021 that Kevin and Netflix signed a 4-movie deal for like an undisclosed amount. In comparison, Adam Sandler also signed a deal with Netflix and his was worth around $150 million. So we could just do the math. Anyway, this should be the 4th movie because we had Fatherhood. That was a good movie. Then we had The Man from Toronto. That was a terrible movie. Then we had Me Time. I guess that movie was right in the middle. And now we got Lift. This one was written by a dude named Daniel Kunka. I never heard of him, but in 2009, he wrote a movie with John Cena called 12 Rounds. And I never seen it. Get it? Because it's John Cena? I didn't see it. Anyway, the opposite of someone I never seen or heard of is the director of Lift, the legendary F. Gary Gray. And we're going to give some flowers to the highest grossing black filmmaker of all time. If you don't know, now you know. F. Gary Gray got his start doing music videos. You may have heard of Today Was a Good Day, Waterfalls, Miss Jackson. Then he moved on to movies. Now I'm not sure, but you may have heard of movies like Friday, Set It Off, The Italian Job, and the movie that made him the highest grossing black filmmaker of all time, Straight Outta Compton. Oh, not to mention The Fate of the Furious, which was the first billion-dollar movie directed by a black person. So, flowers. And here we have Lift, where he teams up with Kevin Hart for the very first time. This movie also stars Gugu Mbatha-Raw, Vincent, D'Onofrio, Úrsula, Corberó, Billy Magnussen, Sam Worthington, Yoon-Ji Kim. Very cool cast. This movie was shot in London, Italy, and Ireland back in 2022. Alright. Plot time. Lift is a heist movie where Kevin Hart plays this dude named Cyrus Whitaker. He's the ringleader of this group of criminals, kind of like the Danny Ocean of the squad, but they've been getting a little sloppy. There's an Interpol agent named Agent Gladwell, played by Gugu, who's been chasing Cyrus and his crew, trying to bring him down. And because of their last heist, she finally got him against the ropes. But, all of a sudden, there's an even badder bad guy whose plan is to smuggle $500 million of gold by passenger plane as a terrorist payoff. Now remember, Agent Gladwell got Cyrus and his people against the ropes. If they want to clear their name and not end up in the slammer, they got an opportunity to team up with the good guys.
You and your friends are looking at identity fraud, money laundering, and transportation of stolen property.
It's kind of like in Too Fast, Too Furious, when Brian and Rome get offered a chance to clear their records if they work with the FBI. Remember? Remember Too Fast, Too Furious?
I said forget about it, cuz.
Anyway, now Agent Gladwell is forced to work with the one person she didn't want to rely on to steal this gold from someone else who's stealing it mid-flight, 40,000 feet in the air. High key though, they could have just put on Alaska Airlines and let the door fly off, just bust that thing. Anyway, can Agent Gladwell trust Cyrus and his crew to complete this mission as directed, or do they got something else up their sleeves to cause a little turbulence? Now we got a movie. So what's my take? Is this the worst movie in the world? No, that's Aquaman 2, The Lost Kingdom. But you do not need to go out and watch this movie. And that's really the key phrase, go out. All you got to do is roll over and hit play on Netflix if they didn't already crack down on your password sharing. And not for nothing, this 1000% looks like a movie theater movie. I don't know the budget on this film, but it had to be high. They're shooting in all these fancy locations, London, Italy, Ireland, in the Alps, in castles. Even the special effects look better than a lot of the movies that be in the movie theaters. But when it gets down to the story, it's just like freaking Scooby-Doo, because it reveals its true self as just another streaming movie. I know Kevin Hart wants to take on more serious roles, and I just shouted him out in this video for doing Fatherhood. That was a real good movie. With this, he's going for more of the grounded action role, less kicking and screaming with The Rock, and more just composed leadership of this group of criminals. But in my opinion, he just didn't exactly hit the mark. If y'all ever watched True Story on Netflix, I think that was kind of like my personal peak of serious Kevin Hart. Here in Lift, it just comes off a little forced and borderline cheesy. I must say though that this supporting cast was surprisingly impressive, starting with Gugu. And I don't know if y'all know this, but Gugu is one of them ones for me. And one day I will meet her. It's just a little manifestation. I learned that on TikTok. You gotta like just say stuff and then stuff be happening. I think that's how it works. Like you gotta like say what you want to happen and then I get it happens. Like I don't know how long it takes, but like that's what they just be saying. You gotta just do that stuff. What was I talking about? Oh yeah, Gugu. She just plays her role really well, and you can just tell that she takes it seriously. Sometimes you get these big actors in like maybe like Netflix movies or smaller roles, and it's just like they're kind of like dialing it in, but she was like all the way in. It's pretty good. And for the rest of Cyrus's crew, you could just see that they had a good level of chemistry. In movies like this, you would just expect a ton of cheesy bad guy lines, but you don't really get that here. You can see that they dialed that back, and I appreciated that. And for a Kevin Hart movie, I was even more impressed to see such like a diverse group of actors, not only from what countries they're coming from, but what level they are in their careers. Good job, Kevin. I'm gonna give Lift 2.5 stars. If someone you love or used to love is paying for your Netflix, you have nothing to lose by throwing this movie on. The graphics are impressive, it's action-packed, and the supporting cast is a lot of fun. But I don't think this is Kevin Hart's best role, and there's a lot of suspension of belief you gotta do to make this story make sense. Like, for example, you know how every heist movie in The Crew, there's a driver. Here, I'm supposed to believe that the driver in The Crew can now fly a jet in stealth mode that they invented. Listen, we all watch a lot of movies where the story doesn't make sense, but usually there's a lot more redeeming qualities, whether it's hilarious or the action is like crazy intense. So I don't think this one is hilarious, and I don't know that the action is super epic, but you guys can be the judge. I know there's a crowd of people that will enjoy this movie, and there's plenty worse movies. It is January. Something just tells me this one won't be on a lot of people's top 10 list of 2024. But you don't gotta take my word for it. Lift is available exclusively on Netflix starting Friday, January 12th. As always, thanks for checking out Taste Take. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to hit that like and that subscribe button. In the comments, why don't y'all let me know your favorite heist movie? All right, I think I gotta go with Ocean's 11, Ocean's 13, Ocean's 8, and The Italian Job. I had a bad experience. I don't know nothing about no Italian Job. Thanks for the time, y'all. Peace. Okay, now that I got you here, did you guys know that freaking Cat Williams is taking Kevin Hart's ex-wife on a comedy tour? Yeah, I didn't even know Kevin Hart's ex-wife did comedy. Yeah, it's like the mom of his first 2 kids. Now will be an opener for Cat Williams. The plot thickens. They asked Kevin Hart what he thought about it. He was like, I hope the tour does really well. He's like, you know, that fake positivity tip, like Charlamagne. The tea is piping. Well, about to go read my 3,000th book of 2024. It's crazy, right?